What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you send through to me on Twitter. My voice is a bit mad because I had my first game yesterday as the fucking gaffer, bruv, for the United Stand FC, and I was shouting, running up and down the touchline. I'm looking forward to seeing that back. We won 5-3 as well. Should have been 6-1, really. Two of their goals shouldn't have been allowed. There was a handball and an offside in there, but bro, like, we played well. We're onto something, Like, I'm looking forward to you lot coming down and watching the games once the Blood Brothers League starts in a couple of weeks' time, man. I think we're gonna surprise a lot of teams. We're the newest team. We haven't played a lot of games together, but it's coming along well. So my voice is a bit croaky, but I'm gonna do my best in it. Also, big up for the feedback as well from the last match review. A lot of people like the fact that I've done it outside Old Trafford. Before I used to do it in the hotel football, or I used to do it at home or whatever. But now I'm just gonna stick to that and just do it on my phone outside. Do you know what I mean? I think people don't really care that the camera's not stable and I'm moving around. They just want to get my thoughts in it. So wherever I go tonight, it's Wolves away. I'm gonna do it outside Molineux. Do you know what I mean? And try and stick to that kind of thing because it looks like you guys like it. So yeah, let's get into your questions. It's at United Ali. This is one of my favorite Twitter accounts. I don't even know the guy, but we follow each other. I I echo a lot of what he says, bro. Like, there's not many United fans that, like, nearly everything they say I agree with, innit? And he's one of them guys, bro. So it's at UTDAL and then two eyes. Like, if you're on Twitter and obviously you follow me, then follow his Twitter account because I'm sure you'll like it. It says top three favorite United players current. Top three current United players. Everyone knows that Pogba and Martial were my favorite anyway. Do you know what I mean? Pogba's my favorite player, period. Like, in football, like, at the moment. Like, I just love everything about him. So Pogba is number one. Martial is number two. Everyone knows Pogba FC, Martial FC, bro. I've been flying that flag for ages. Like, man, I'll go down with that ship. That's something I'm willing to put my neck on the line for, bro. Like Mark puts his neck on the line for Luke Shaw, blood. And like Luke Shawarma and that. And third has to be Wan-Bissaka, bro, because the guy is immense. He's literally exactly what we needed. And his levels of consistency are a joke. Like, the guy looks like he's playing within himself and it's too easy for him. That's what I love about Pogba as well. Pogba, like, when Pogba's using, it literally looks like there's nothing you can do. And when Wan-Bissaka plays, as a winger, it looks like there's just nothing you can do. Do you know what I mean? So those are my three, for different reasons. Pogba, Martial were always my guys, but Wan-Bissaka's mad. I'll have to see more of Harry Maguire in the United shirt because he came later on. But everything about him tells me that he's going to be a favourite of mine. My favourite Manchester United players ever, though, like, in terms of just to watch, because I don't care. A lot of people go with the cult status or how long these guys have played for the club and all these things. To me, that's not important, innit? Like, when you guys see the way the United Stand FC play as well, you'll see the kind of players I like. I like technical players. Do you know what I mean? I do like quick players, but pace is a lottery, innit? Like, technique, football IQ, finesse, all these things I like to see in football. So, like, ever, obviously, Eric Cantona is my favourite Manchester United player ever. Like, he's the reason why I support the club. Obviously, my uncle was a United fan and he got me into the club, but it was Eric Cantona that he showed me and that I wanted to model my game on as a child, in it. So it has to be King Eric. And then he gave us one great season, but I loved Robin Van Persie. I'm not gonna lie, just because I feel like Robin Van Persie is the best striker that I've seen play for Manchester United, like, the best, like, in my lifetime, in my opinion. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy had an amazing goal record, but I feel like Robin just had more to his game, bro. Robin had two brilliant feet. The finesse on the left foot's a joke, but Robin van Persie scored with both feet. He scored headers. He could hold the ball. He could link play. That volley he scored against Aston Villa with the hat trick, I feel like that's one of the best goals ever scored by a Manchester United player. Like, do you know how hard it is to catch a ball on the volley while it's coming over your shoulder? Like, for me, Robin van Persie is there as well. And Berber wasn't far behind as well because Berber's hella techie, bro. Like, I like that kind of player in it. That's my bias. And Paul Scholes. So, Scholesy, Cantona, and RVP for me. Let me know you guys all-time Manchester United favourite 3 players because that would be very interesting. All-time. I know Ryan Giggs, my brother was a massive fan of Ryan Giggs, man like expressions when we were growing up. He's a Tottenham fan, but Ryan Giggs was his favourite player growing up. So that's one that you lot didn't know, and now you know, fam. All right, next one. At Bar 95, something like that. It just says Mohamed Bar, so we'll go with Mohamed Bar. Would you try to get a left back next summer to put pressure on Luke Shaw? And if so, who you getting? I would, but we got to be honest, guys. It's not about what I would do, man. Like, I've never rated Luke Shaw. And now you guys are starting to see why. I think Chilwell, it's mad. Like, that Chilwell, like, is still at Leicester. I think next season he'll end up somewhere else. I don't think we can get Chilwell for the simple fact that I think that we should be going for Maddison, bro. So it's like, we can't get them both. I know that much. Do you know what I mean? So Kieran Tierney would have been another good one. He's gone to Arsenal, 25 million, absolute steal. Tierney should have been at Manchester United, bro. He's Irish, do you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be surprised if he supports Manchester United because most of them do. It's Manchester United or Liverpool, bro. If you've been to Ireland, you know the deal already. Manchester United, Liverpool, and Celtic. That's it, innit? So I feel like Kieran Tierney would have been the guy. But Luke Shaw's on a lot of money. I don't see us being able to sell him because no one's trying to take on 190 grand a week worth of wages. So we'll start with Luke Shaw. But I would definitely fucking not even put pressure on him. I'd replace him altogether because I think he's useless. I don't think he's good defensively and I don't think he's good attacking. I think he's mediocre at best, bruv. He's a bottom half of the table left back. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. At Hamza Kareem Shah, I think I've read something out from you before, bro. If I read your stuff out more than once, it's because you ask good questions, by the way. So if you feel like you're featuring quite often or you feel like certain people keep getting their questions read out, I literally don't know any of these people. They just ask very interesting questions. So you need to up your question game. This is probably late, but surely Ollie should change the team a little. Adding Fred and Delo at times, especially for Wolves away. Wolves away, yeah, I can see what you're saying because I feel like a back 5 would probably work well against Wolves because they play that low block and that. However, I want to see us go out and put out the exact same 11 that we played against Chelsea at Wolves away, bruv. We shouldn't respect them. Even though Wolves are a very good team, do you know what I mean? They're the best of the rest outside the top 6, in my opinion. However, we're Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Manchester United I know do not go to teams that are 7th, 8th in, like, best in the league and not just play our own way, bruv. We need to keep that arrogance about us and just blast them, innit? Like, just absolutely blast them. So I do agree that changes should be made. I'd love to see Dalot in this new system because I feel like how attacking it is and how direct it is, I think he could do well. Same with Fred. But I don't think we should pay Wolves too much respect. I think they're a brilliant team, but I feel like I said, I don't know if it was on one of the shows or if it was on one of my YouTube shows, but I said, if Manchester United are brave and Ollie is brave, then we can do Chelsea some damage. And I think the same goes for Wolves. If we're brave, we believe in our attack, we believe in our speed and transition and believe in our style of play, I feel like we can beat Wolves. I feel like we can. It's not a given. Only Tottenham last season won there, I think, in the top 6. However, I think if we just keep an arrogance about us and say, you know what, we're just going to steamroller these, man. We're going to play our game. We're not going to worry whether they're playing this formation, that formation, 2 up front. Just play our game. I think it'll be enough to get a result there. Let me know what you think. Samuel Idel. Do you believe we will struggle against weaker teams who defend deep since we have most of the possession and may struggle to counter-attack, especially at Old Trafford? I'm going to reserve judgment on that. Again, for similar reasons to the Wolves thing, because I believe the new system that we're playing in terms of, we've settled on a 4-2-3-1. It's not a 4-3-3 anymore. When Oli first came, it was a 4-3-3. Pogba playing the most advanced and he scored all them goals. The system we're playing now is not the same system. We're playing a 4-2-3-1 with Pogba in a double pivot, deeper. So it's not the same, innit? So because it's a different formation, it's a different philosophy, I'm very interested to see how it will come up against these teams. I do believe if these teams sit deep against us, with Martial now as the fulcrum of the attack, you can play it into Martial, Tony can hold it, lay it off, spin it round the corner, all these things that Lukaku couldn't do. So when teams play with a low block, Lukaku only thrives when there's space in behind, innit? So that's why he does well at shit teams, bro. That's why he does well at the likes of Everton and the likes of West Brom, because against those teams are not going to come to West Brom's ground, yeah, and sit deep and try and nullify them, bro. Like, when you're playing for a team that doesn't monopolize possession and teams don't fear, they will defend higher up the pitch. Like, they will give you more space in behind. When you play for a top team, you need that bit of intricacy in it, that bit of cuteness. I feel like Tony has that. So I'm gonna put my faith in Tony's ability to help unlock these stubborn defenses, because I do think it's going to be a great asset that we didn't have last season. Very good question, though. As usual, guys, hit the comments. At Luke Andrews, thoughts on Ghana potentially being RDM. Seems as though Fred isn't rated and Matic is a big no. Feel as though Pogba and Source together don't offer protection to our defence as seen against Chelsea. Is Ghana the answer for DM? PS, keep smashing it, bro. I don't think Ghana's our answer. I think Ghana's very good. He's not our answer. I don't think that the defence don't get much protection from Pogba and McTominay. I don't believe that. I just feel like they're both not naturally defensive players. That's all it is. I think that they both do a good job. You're forgetting Chelsea have a very good midfield. Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho. Them three midfielders, like, on paper, that's probably the best central midfielder in the league. Like, don't underestimate that. Do you know what I mean? So Tottenham as well with Ndombele and Eriksen, that's pretty good as well. But in terms of experience, quality, balance, when you got fucking N'Golo Kante, Jorginho's distribution is very, very good, and he's very press resistant. And Kovacic is a good player. So them man are playing against good players, man. Do you know what I mean? I just have to give Chelsea credit for that. I don't think our midfield are going to struggle like that every game. I just think that Chelsea are a very good team. Well, they start well anyway. You saw that against Liverpool. They should have beaten Liverpool. And then you saw it also against Leicester yesterday. First half, they were absolutely destroying Leicester, man. Do you know what I mean? They were overrunning them and mashing them up. And a lot of us said that Leicester's midfield was better than ours when we were going into the season. Tielemans put in an absolute stinker of a performance yesterday. And we were screaming, including me, that right, I would have slapped 40 M's on him. He didn't look that good. Indeed, he didn't look that good for a large portion of the game as well. So I think we have to put some respect on Chelsea a little bit and not read too much into what happened to our midfield, because I genuinely believe that we just came up against a very good midfield that day. Guys, jump in the comments, let me know. United in my brain, another one that I've read out before. If Greenwood has an amazing season, should we not get Sancho next season and start Greenwood? Hell no, bro. Jadon Sancho is a generational talent. I'm putting it out there, innit? He's a generational talent. I have never seen an English player like him before, bruv. His feet remind me of Neymar, but he's smaller, more explosive, and he's brilliant. He's brilliant, innit? Jadon Sancho is the kind of guy, even if there's no room for him in your team, if he's available, you buy him and then you think about where you're going to play him because he's that good. You know what I mean? I'm not exaggerating. Before, like, I think 6-7 months ago, when Flex asked me, yo, would you take Pepe or Sancho? I said I'll take Pepe for 2 reasons. Pepe was being touted as being available for 45 million, and I know United don't spend, even though Arsenal ended up paying 72. So fuck that. I don't think he's worth 72 million, but for 45 million euros, I wanted him, and also he's 24 years old. And I feel like United need experience. The jury was still out on Jadon Sancho for me because of his age and because it's one good season at Dortmund. However, I've seen enough of Jadon. The same with Harry Maguire. I said the same thing after the World Cup when everyone wanted Harry Maguire. I said, no, not yet. Let me see some more in it. Because I know tournaments don't really, they don't do much. James Rodriguez had an amazing World Cup, went to Real Madrid and died, went to Bayern Munich and died. Do you know what I mean? Like, since that World Cup, he hasn't even had a good season. So you don't buy players off tournaments. Us Liverpool, Diouf Diao, bruv, we remember that. We ended up with Jemba. You just don't do it, innit? So I was like, listen, I'm gonna see some more Jadon. This guy's unreal. So you buy him. If he costs 100 million, you pay it. You don't even argue because he's a gem. So I love Mason Greenwood. I've been wanting him to be in the first team, but bruh. Jadon Bomberclot Sancho, blood. This guy is the truth, innit? So hold tight, Mason. We'll have to fit him somewhere else in the team because Jadon starts and then you play Mason somewhere. Or you bring Mason in, bruv. Like, Mason's young, he's got time. He's still developing. Jadon's ready now. So, no, I still buy Jadon Sancho. And having them two in the team is not a bad problem to have. Will the DOF be effective if Ed is still heavily influenced in transfers? At den_HAY. Honestly, bro, I don't think Ed Woodward will be heavily involved in transfers if we get a DOF. I don't. But I think that Manchester United's problem is, I think there's too many chefs in the kitchen. There's too many different people. There's too many different opinions. I think we just need one chief scout or head scout, whatever you want to call it, one DOF. That's it. We don't need 6 scouts. We don't need all these other guys. Like, we don't. We just need a one in between Ollie and Ed Woodward. That's what man need. Man need an Ed in between, bruv. Like, that's it. I don't think that Ed will be heavily involved if there's someone else. I feel like Ed is heavily involved because there's no one else. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep the faith and say that we will get a DOF. I think if you look at Arsenal's setup right now, it's very good. You saw it in the transfer window. They were very decisive. They identified what they needed and they got it. And I think that we need a similar setup at the club. And seeing where everyone else is going, I can only assume that these guys are going to do that. Because if they don't, like, it's going to be a long time before we're back where we deserve to be. I can't see this guy's Twitter at, but it just says Glazers out, which is, yeah, fair enough. Would you rather go on a night out with Smalling or Jones? Definitely Smalling, bruv. Because Jones is a clumsy twat. He might just end up spilling my drink all over me or something like that, bruv. Like, he's a liability in it. At least with Chris Smalling, yeah, it's mad. And because he likes to defend as well, bruv. If you get some of these random dead things trying to move to you, bruv, you know what I mean? Chris Smalling, back post and that. So, yeah, Chris Smalling. Michael Royer. Rants Red Talk. Are we doing business in January window? Obviously, centre mids are a necessity and a right winger. And offloading dead wood is a must. Who comes in, who goes out? At the moment, I don't know, bro. I don't think we should do any business in January unless, I think I've said it before, unless Christian Eriksen is available because he hasn't signed a new deal and he hasn't left Tottenham. So if the window closes and Eriksen's still there, you can get Eriksen for 40 million. Then you do that. Other than deals like that, I don't like to see January signings. They take too long to adapt. A lot of the time they're cup tied. January signings most of the time look like panic buys, innit? I'm not really on that. Let me know how you feel about January signings, guys, because I know it's going to be mixed in the comments. Does Daniel James have potential to be a starter in your opinion? @_TKNEKATI. I don't know. TK Nakati or something. I don't know. I don't think that Daniel James's football IQ is great. It's not bad, but I don't think it's great, innit? Technically, he's good. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's a very good dribbler of the ball. His passing and his final ball needs a lot of work. However, I'd love for him to develop. I'd love for him to develop and turn into a really good player, because I think that he has all the tools. He has the physical tools. He has the attitude. Do you know what I mean? Whether he has the technical ability to take him up to the next level, we'll have to see in time. But I'm rooting for the kid, man. I'm rooting for him, man. I think he's got the right mentality. So we'll just have to see. It would be great, but where would he start? Because he doesn't start ahead of Rashford or Martial. And if Sancho comes in, he doesn't start ahead of him. So he's just at a good club, man, with some good players. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. At Solomon Komalefe or something. Komalafe, I'm not sure, bro. When Pereira doesn't play, who do you reckon to take set pieces in order to get the best out of Maguire? Rants. Hashtag Rants Red Talk. Keep up the good work. That's a very good question, my bro. If Andreas doesn't play, that's the problem. You see, with Paul Pogba, he's our best crosser of the ball at the club, but the guy's 6'3", blood. So you want him in the box. You see what I mean about Pogba being so good at so many things, yeah, that it's almost a detriment to him. So you don't want Pogba on crossing in the ball, because you want him in the box. So you take Pogba away, Jesse can't cross. Rashford can't cross, but Rashford's probably the only option we have, because Martial you don't want in corners. You see the problem here, guys? And that's why a Christian Eriksen, a Bruno Fernandes, someone like an actual set-piece specialist is something that Manchester United have been missing for a long time, bro. A long, long time. Some donut, when I said, oh, United haven't had a set-piece specialist since David Beckham, they were like, oh, Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney. Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Rooney are not set-piece specialists, bruv. People that take free kicks doesn't mean they're set-piece specialists. It means they like to take free kicks, bruv. Set pieces are all around the pitch. Wayne Rooney, yeah, would take free kicks that he could score from, or he could try and hit the target for most of the time. He ain't no specialist, bruv. He wasn't a fucking Juninho Pernambucano, bruv. He wasn't a Pirlo. Do you know what I'm saying? These men are free kick fucking specialists. Whether they can score from it, whether they can get an assist from it, because they're putting the ball in a dangerous area. Christian Eriksen is a set piece specialist. He'll take set pieces from anywhere. We ain't had a player like that since Bex. So someone like a Christian Eriksen would be fucking exactly what we need, if I'm honest. But from our current crop, it probably has to be Marcus Rashford. Powerful, flat, and yeah. But that's if it beats the first man, bro. He just needs to work on getting a bit more height. He hits it very flat. He hits the first man a lot. But if he can work on getting it up and down, I think with all the attributes all the players have, I think he's the only realistic choice. Also, moving on to Rashford, before we wrap up, man, I'm seeing the stats everywhere that people are sending against Rashford against top teams. And it's very impressive. You know what I mean? People think that I give Marcus Rashford a hard time. I do give him a hard time, bruv. I give Marcus Rashford a hard time for numerous reasons. One, because he's English, and the English players generally are overhyped. So I have to be sensible about it. People will see certain things and then they just get gassed up. Also, I haven't seen a lot of improvement from Rashi since he's broken through, and now this season he looks a bit more composed, I have to say. But from last season to when he broke through, I haven't seen a massive improvement. And also, I still see loads of holes in his game. That doesn't mean he's not a good player. It doesn't. I just feel like there's a lot that he needs to work on. I hope that he doesn't think he's the finished article already, because he's very far from it. But it's his decision-making and his football IQ. That's the main issue I have with Marcus. That's it. It's not personal, because I think he's a good lad. He don't talk a lot. You never see Marcus Rashford get in trouble. Even off-season, I see him training and that. His application is 10 out of 10. It's not personal. But his decision-making is very bad. His link-in play is very bad. His first option is always to get the ball, head down, turn, try and beat a man, or get it out his feet and have a shot. regardless of where he is on the pitch or what's around him. He just wants to do that. And it shows that his awareness of the actual game in a football sense is not very good. And that's his main limitation for me. But his temperament is very, very good. The penalty he scored against PSG, the penalty he scored for England in the World Cup, Marcus Rashford has shown me on many, many occasions that he has an elite level temperament. Elite level temperament, Marcus Rashford, bro. So you see the goals against these big teams, it don't surprise me. Because Marcus Rashford, he definitely has the mental attributes to play for Manchester United. It's just the IQ side, I would like to see him improve on a lot more, bro. But he's a fucking good player, man. That was your Rants Red Talk for today, guys. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Get interactive in the comments as usual. Hit me up on the socials at Rants and Bants on Twitter and Instagram. As usual, it's been a fucking pleasure, guys. I'm on the way now to meet Flex. And we're going up to Wolves to watch the game. So you'll get your match review tonight as usual. And yeah, it's been emotional, guys. Flex and Rants show comes out tomorrow, 1 o'clock on the United Stand. Peace.